What's up, people? This is Kagwe Mungai, and you're hanging out with me right here on Nairobi News on SNAPPY 7, hanging with your man, Hillary. Kaya Dano, keep it locked.
Man, I can't lie. Relationship goodbye. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Eh. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm sick of you and your type. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Got you creeping, creeping, creeping. Eh. I am a control freak. I'm a control freak. I don't know about perfectionists. Yes, I aim for perfection. I come very close to it, you know, with everything that I do. You know what I mean? Just, come on. No, I'm joking. But no, I'm a control freak. I'm a control freak. I like things done a certain way. And yeah, that's how I like them done. And if they're not done that way, then it like drives me insane. So yeah, I like to be quite hands-on with the things that I do. At the time, there were no African love songs, and to be more specific, no African sexy slow jams. You know, because we listen to a lot of them, and we always they're always just like those oldies, and we never have anything. We never had anything current at the time. So I asked myself why that is, and I couldn't find a good answer. So I said, let's make one. You know, so I met up with Sauti Sol. I played them a couple of songs, and they liked that one in particular, so we recorded it, and they shot the video for it, and the rest, as they say. No. They asked me to come, but then like last minute they were like, Kagwe is going to look too good in this video, so like let's tell him like not to come today. Like we'll call him for the next one. We'll call him for the next one. So it's okay, understood. You know, it's intimidating sometimes, especially these guns. Yeah. These ones. I don't know how they let me in this building. Yeah. You know, there comes a certain point when, in a musician's life, I think, when your career is at a point where you don't have the time to be doing all things at once. Also, you have to understand that I'm not a professional at all of those things. You know, it's better to have a very competent group of people that are visionaries and see the way forward and have professionalism in doing those things. And that's what Taurus Group is. You know, Taurus Group completely has my back in that capacity. So for me, in that way, it was something that I'd always wanted, but before I had the time to do everything. And right now, at this point, I wouldn't have been able to grow and progress without having a team and a stable like Taurus behind me. What has changed? Well, now my creativity is unlimited, right? Because I'm not now thinking about you know, now I'm not thinking about like contracts. I'm not thinking about like organizing the press things. I'm not thinking about organizing gigs and whatnot. Like, this is completely handled, and now my job is to be creative and to make music, which is the ideal place that every musician wants to be. Kagwe is the future, and I don't mean that in a very arrogant way. I think that I'm making music for future generations. I don't want to make music for now. I don't want to do anything for just now. The idea is to create long-lasting, long-lasting music and long-lasting works that generations to follow can be impacted by. I want somebody 20, 30 years from now to say that, you know, I'm accepting this Grammy, and it's because, you know, when I was coming up, I listened to a lot of Kagwe Mungai music, or I saw Kagwe Mungai doing X, Y, Z, you know, and he inspired me to follow my dream and to pursue this with the best of my ability, and that's why I'm standing here today. To have that kind of impact, to see Kenyan musicians and Kenyan art being recognized on an international level and not just world music, you know. Let us stand on the same stage as Trey Songz for best male, you know, artist, you know, instead of saying best world artist and then best male artist, you know. Because we can be at the same level, and we have the talent, and we have the good music, and we have the culture. So that is what Kagwe is about. Kagwe is the future. Wow, I mean, anything. I mean, do you not realize how talented I am? I'm just good at everything. Hillary, you don't know? I can even let me do the interview. I show you. No, no,
All right.
no. I was actually probably going to do art and be a painter. And that's that was my big juggle. It was between music and art, and it was something that I was very passionate about. I had my artwork up in galleries and things, but I decided to go the music route. Oh, 5 things in my bucket list.
Yeah.
Number 1 is to start a tribe called the Kagwe tribe. I'm going to have many wives and many, very, very, very many children, about 30 children. That's where my tribe will start. So it will be called the Kagwerians. And we haven't figured out the language yet. Once I find the wives, then we'll figure out the language. But that's number 1 on my bucket list. Number 2 is skydiving. I've always wanted to go skydiving. I'm a little bit afraid of heights, but there is something very final about skydiving that, you know, if you don't make it, you don't make it, you know, and that's just that, you know. So that's definitely something I want to do. Number 3 is to have several Grammys. That is going to be a reality very soon, and we're working towards that. Number 4 on my bucket list, wow, let's see. Number 4 on my bucket list. I don't know, you know, I've always wanted to try snake.
To eat a snake.
To eat a snake. And yeah, so that's maybe the next time I do that, I'll try it. But I've always been too afraid to do it. So maybe I'll eat a snake one day. I don't know. 5th one, before I die, I will run for a government office. My view of the Kenyan music industry is that it's at a very interesting tipping point. We've grown so much within the last 7 or so years, and when I say that growth, I mean in terms of the quality of music that we're making, the number of people that are interested in becoming musicians, and the recognition that we are getting as Kenyans around the world from making music. There's a lot of parents that wouldn't allow their children to go and study music, you know, for example, or go and study art, or go and do film or acting or whatever it is. And I don't think that's the way forward. The way forward is to cultivate these things from a young age. You find people like Beyonce, her father was a producer, you know, was nurturing that talent from a very, very young age. She didn't get to where she is just because she has talent. It was nurtured, it was cultivated, she was pushed, you know, so that she could be better every day. And with that kind of backbone and system, you can only do great things. It's the same thing as when, you know, you start working and you get an internship and then you move on to the next level. Like it's progressive. And as long as you're progressing in that way, then you're going to achieve greatness. For me, my advice to the people that would be watching and wanting to get into the music industry, know this, it's not a walk in the park. It's not just pictures and gigs and fun times and parties. It's a lot of work. A lot of work. For me, I've been in the industry for only about 3.5 years now, and I feel very, very blessed to have seen and accomplished what I have. A lot of people have been in the industry for longer, but haven't. And I think the reason I have done that is because I put in stupid amounts of work. I work from 12 to 12. You know, these days I don't sleep on end. And I don't mean that, you know, metaphorically. Literally, I do not sleep, you know. If it needs to get done, it must be done. And that's the kind of drive and focus that you need to get through this industry. Oh, most embarrassing moment in my career. Well, I haven't fallen on stage, but it was one of my earlier shows when I had just started performing, and I was performing at a bar somewhere in Upper Hill. And so I get on stage. I hadn't even released more than one song at the time or anything. So I get on the stage and I grab the mic and I say, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kagwe Mungai." And people stand up and they're like, "Ah! Ah!" And they're high-fiving each other. I'm like, "Hey, these guys really like what I'm doing. Okay. Okay." So I'm like, I'm going to start singing, and then they started again. "Ah!" So I'm like, why are these guys doing this? What's happening? So I look behind, and there's a Manu game going on. Yeah. So these guys didn't even realize that I was actually there.
They were watching the game.
Yeah, they were watching the game the entire time. So I tried to do one song, I powered through, but the TV was turned up louder, so my music was turned down quieter, and then eventually I just had to wait for the match to end. So yeah, that I don't know if many people saw that, but for me that was very humiliating. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Manu over Kagwe. Come on. It's not rocket science.
Doctor, calling you. Me, I need a doctor. Doctor, calling you. Me, I need a doctor. Dance, kaya dan no. You're giving me fever. Dance, kaya dan no. You make me a believer. What's up, people? This is Kagwe Mungai, and you're watching Nairobi News and Snappy 7 every Sunday. Keep it locked. Don't move anywhere. Boom!